The post wagon passes by and he sees that two packages fall out. He picks it up and he wants to, go after the guy and tell him, hey, you dropped some stuff, but he sees that it says on it that there are 30,000 marks in this envelope. Guys,
every word of it.
This is a great story. Yeah, it's a very good story. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody who's here. And
subscribe if you haven't. Go check to make sure that you haven't.
Yes. In the city of Leipzig, there was a poor Yid, and his name was Yossel. And his business was he was kind of like a peddler. Now, one time he was ready to go on his way, and his wife looks at him. He looks at his wife and he sees his wife looks very unhappy. So he asks her what's going on. His wife says that our financial situation is not good. We don't even have the bare necessities. And I'm really upset. So he also says, listen, Eliyahu Navi has blessed many people who could bless us as well. And he goes on his way. And as he's walking, put it in the middle too. As he's walking, the mail wagon, the post wagon passes by and he sees that two packages fall out. Two packages fall out. And he picks it up, and he's picked it up in order to, go after the guy and tell him, hey, you dropped some stuff, but he sees that it says on it that there are 30,000 marks in this envelope. That's what's, right? It says on top. And they're supposed to go to a certain parts, and all the information is written on top of the address, where it's going. And the other one was just a regular letter. Yossel didn't think a lot. He put it in his inside his coat pocket. And he runs after the guy and says, hey, you dropped the letter. Yeah, he goes. Now Yossel already didn't go to he went out to make some money. He has money, he comes back home. So his wife says, why did you come back home so quickly? So he tells her what happened, and she doesn't want to hear it. She's like, what made you think you could take the money? Well, we turned we're ganavim, we became thieves. So he also says, first of all, the guy we're supposed to go to, he's not Jewish. Yeah, right? He makes, people, unfortunately, they think that it's not a problem to steal from Yidden, which is not true. But second, nothing will happen to us. Why? Because there's insurance. It's going to be on the mail, on the post, at the post office to pay him back. So and it belongs to. It's anyways for the royal. It's from the state of the money's from the state.
Belongs to the state.
It's from the state. So right, because it's the U.S. So therefore, what are you making a big deal? And she says, no. I don't know anything. I know it's not our money. We can't have it. It's not. We can't keep someone else's money. And she says, what are our children going to say? When we wake up in the morning, when they wake up in the morning and they will say, oh, our parents became ganavim. What kind of chinuch are we giving them? And when she sees that he's sitting there practically smoking a cigar like he doesn't have a care in the world, she says, listen, they know that they're going to think you found the money. They're going to send people here because you gave them back one letter. So they're going to say, hey, where's the other letter you found? So he's like, oh, she's right. So what does he do? Like all the goyim know that under the floorboards is where we keep our money. He loosens the floorboard, picks it up, puts the money under.
Like he dug it.
So he dug it. Yeah, and whatever.
The initials. That's how they told him.
Right. He was the original.
The instigator.
So anyway, and after a few hours, Taka, what happens? An investigator comes in, and the postman. So they're asking him, they're investigating, and the wife is there. She told them this was going to happen, and she she's very upset at him, but obviously she's not going to say anything. But the postman starts to speak in his behalf. He's like, listen, the guy, obviously he gave me one letter back. He wouldn't, right? If he gave me one letter back, why would he keep the other one? He's an honest guy. And the investigator was so angry, he said, you're defending him, you're probably in cahoots with him. You should both go to prison.
Collusion.
Right.
It's Russian collusion.
Russian collusion. So the guy says, so he keeps quiet, and eventually Yassel gets thrown into jail. The whole town hears about it. They rally for him. They're mishtatef in his tsar. They try to do whatever they can to help him. They come to the wife. They send food. They try to help with money because he's in jail. And the more people are helping, the more she's sikvetched. She feels so bad because she knows her husband Taka took the money. And meanwhile, they said that it was announced that whoever finds this package, this money, and brings it to the post office, they're going to get 500 zuhuvim, 500 gold.
That's a really stupid
ducats.
investment.
What do you mean?
Aren't they insured?
They can keep 30,000 Deutschmarks.
If they find, listen, but
It's a very dumb investment. Trade in 30 for 5 golden. Whatever.
sure, but guess what? But guess what? You have the money and you don't have any of the fear of people coming after you. It's menuchas hanefesh.
You just decide not to be afraid.
The Alter Rebbe says that a person will give whatever they have, bad nafshi. So if you're always scared, it's not worth the money.
So why the nice way?
Actually, in Shar B'tachan it says that Shar B'tachan says that a person, it could be that he has all the money in the world, but his life is he's so paranoid and he's so stressed that the money doesn't give him anything. So yes, that's how it is. Anyway, so the woman decides she can't live like this anymore, and she says she has to figure something out. And she says, you know what? The Rav is a very holy man. He's a very smart man. And his name was actually Baruch Frankel Toimim. That was his name. He was the father-in-law of Reb Chaim of Tzanz. He has a sefer of Baruch Tam. Anyway, so she decides she's going to she takes out the money, and she decides to go and bring it to the Rav. But she sees, when she looks through the window, that he's teaching his Talmidim. She doesn't want to go and confess that her husband took it in front of so many people. And she has to go. So she takes the money, throws it into the window, and she runs without anyone seeing her. And the Rav sees something falling on the floor. He picks it up. He looks at it. He chops right away what it is. Talmidim didn't ask any questions. And so he realizes that he has to figure something out. So he tells everybody, Shir's over. And he thinks about what he has to do. If I go right away to the post office, they're going to think that they're not going to trust me. They're going to think that I was involved, and it's going to be a problem. I'm the Rav. So I have to figure out what to do. So he takes the money, he puts it in a chest, he locks it right in a safe, and he goes on a walk to think. But then he realizes, 1 second, if people, for whatever reason, come to look by me and they find it, if for whatever reason it gets found in the chest, then it looks very bad. It's almost like an admission of guilt. Rather, I should go back, put it exactly where it fell, so that if somebody comes, they'll see that no one leaves money like that on the floor.
I thought you said he's a smart Rav.
Okay, and so he said, and that's what he said. He went back, he did that, and then he went back out to go on a walk. Probably Ashkacha Pratis Hashem put this thought in his head because that allowed him to bump into the person that we're about to mention.
Didn't all the time we didn't see him pick it up?
Yeah, but they didn't know what it was. They didn't know what it was.
There's a witness singing.
No, this is just in case somebody comes to investigate by him.
They didn't have CCTV then.
Exactly. So anyway, but he goes to walk and he bumps into the priest of the town. And the priest of the town happened to be someone who respected this Rav very much. He knew him as a holy man. And he always treated him with a lot of respect. He sees the Rav walking and he approaches him and he sees that he's very, very preoccupied. He asks him what's going on. And the Rav right away has an idea. He asks him, tell me, do you accept confessions from people who are not Christian? Or not part of your faith? So he says, yes, I do. So he says, okay, so I want to confess to you, but I don't want to go to the church, obviously, because he can't go in the church, and I don't want to do it in the. I want to do it in your house.
Don't put on your vestments.
Right? Yeah. He said, I just want to do it in your. No fanfare, no religious context. Just I want to tell you, and this guy's like, I don't know, like, really, this is not the way to do it. But because he respects the Rav so much, he says, okay, fine. He makes an exception, and they go to his house, and obviously the Rav doesn't say all the whole nusach. He doesn't say the nusach of, whatever they say. He just says, listen, this is what happened. Somebody threw money into anything. I want to give the money to you because He asked him first. He asked him, "Are you allowed to tell what people tell you in confession, or is it confidential?" So it's confidential. So that's why he wanted to confess to him. So he says this whole story. He has the money, whatever it is. You give it to the post office. Say that it was given to you during confession, and they can't investigate you because it's
It's the church, man.
Yeah, you can't. The priest said okay. The priest wanted to help the Rav, and that's what happened. And meanwhile, it's found out, right? Everybody, it becomes public that the money was found. Yossel was put into jail for no reason, and he comes home. Yossel comes home. He's all happy, and his wife tells him, "I threw that money in the Rav's window. I don't know how he did it, but he made it happen. He got you out of jail. So you have to go right away to him now and say thank you." So Yossel goes to the Rav's house, and the Rav sees him right away. He says, "Baruch Mater Asurim." He says, and Yossel says, "Listen, I'm guilty." And the Rav, hears him out, and he says, "Calm down," because he was very distraught that he caused this whole commotion. The Rav says, "Don't worry. At the end of the day, we corrected what happened. Correct what happened. So everything's fine." Now they're there. Meanwhile, the Galach comes into the Rav and says, he says, "Rabbi, here's the 500 gold coins, because you were the one who returned it." So the Rav says, "What are you talking about? You returned it. You took all the stress of going to the post office. You took you took the responsibility. It's yours." And they're arguing back and forth. And the Galach says, "Okay, give it to poor people." So the Rav says, "Even to give it to poor people, it's your merit. You were the one who should give out to poor people because you gave it in." And meanwhile, they're going back and forth, and the Rav sees Yossel sitting there, and he sees the whole thing happen because the guy's poor. He didn't have any money. So he tells the Galach like this: "Listen, give the money to Yossel. He was the one who suffered the most because of this whole ordeal. He was put into jail, so he should have the money." So Galach thinks, and he says, "I don't know why I didn't think of that." And Yossel didn't want to take it, and the Rav said, "Take the money." And so he accepted. He takes the money, and the Rav tells him to open up a store with that money. Guys, the Rav tells Yossel, "Open up a store. I'll send you clients. I'll tell everybody to buy from you." And that's what he did. And he actually had a lot of atzlacha. He became Asher, he became rich, and he gave tzedakah, and he was very kind to everybody his entire life. So this is the story about that we should always trust in Hashem, because Hashem, one way or another, is going to bring us the money that we need to get.
And
we don't need to steal.
Give it away.
Okay. Anyways, guys, good tvach. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing your story.
Stole and the money. And
I know, right? It's whatever. Hashem takes care of everybody. But good tvach. Thank you for being here, and smash the like button. Like and subscribe. Yeah.
Send $1.
And consider supporting this channel so we can do this amazing work. Good tvach. Da 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 da.